As the new Star Wars canon has been coming out, we've been seeing a lot more things come back to canon that existed in Legends and a lot of things that are new, particularly when it comes to force powers, which are some of my favorite things to cover. So I thought it'd be cool to talk about these force powers and how they now exist in canon. Today's force power is from the books Dooku, Jedi Lost, Master and Apprentice, Star Wars Rebels, and Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. It's the force power of animal kinship, or beast control, as some Jedi and Sith would call it. We first saw this power in Episode 2 when Anakin calms and bonds with the Reeek during the arena fight on Geonosis. He's able to ride the animal like a tamed horse, going wherever he wants. It's important to note that animal kinship was used with non-sentient beings, so it's different than Obi-Wan Kenobi using mind control powers against the Stormtroopers in Episode 4, or Qui-Gon influencing Boss Nass in Episode 1. In Dooku Jedi Lost, Master Lin Kostana trained Dooku how to do animal kinship with a convor, an owl-like creature. Others call this beast control, she said to Dooku. They are mistaken. Jedi never control. We influence. We persuade. She taught that the Jedi would reach out to the Force and let it flow through both creatures, one mind, two bodies. When Dooku does this with the convor, he is able to feel what it feels, its emotions, even its thoughts and worries. A Jedi basically shares the same mind with the animal, and they both become the same entity. As Dooku does it, he feels like he is actually the convor, flying over the Jedi Temple, and he is able to persuade the animal to fly wherever he wants. Dooku was so good at animal kinship that he could even fly a ship of his own while performing animal kinship at the same time. One time on Coruscant, Dooku and Qui-Gon search for a culprit who nearly killed Dooku's brother. During the chase, Dooku bonds with the convor and follows the culprit through the eyes of the animal while he and Qui-Gon catch up in a speeder. He's basically Bran from Game of Thrones, or Bran was using animal kinship. Qui-Gon was deeply impressed at the skill and power such multitasking required. Qui-Gon would learn well from his master and later teach it to Obi-Wan Kenobi, who became extremely adept at this force power, which allowed him to ride the Veractyl in Episode 3 so well. Qui-Gon taught the skill to him in the book Master and Apprentice when the two Jedi participated in a Veractyl hunt on the planet Pygel. Obi-Wan immediately fell in love with creating a bond with the animal and was a natural at it. Since Anakin knew the power too, it seems that Obi-Wan taught it to Anakin, unless it was just a natural gift. Some Jedi were absolute masters at this, just as other Jedi were really great at other powers. But the Jedi weren't the only ones to use this power. Animal kinship, or beast control in Legends, is a very ancient power dating back thousands of years. The Sith were big practitioners of it, and within the Jedi archives, there was a book called The Bestiary of Darth Koldoth, which was written by Darth Koldoth himself, a Dark Lord of the Sith who lived years before Dooku's birth. The book was about some of the Sith war beasts, such as the Gundark. We know that Anakin once saved Obi-Wan after he fell into a Gundark nest. Perhaps Anakin was able to use a bit of the dark side and bound with the Gundarks, and that's how Anakin saved Obi-Wan. We may never know. Back to the Sith. In Dooku Jedi Lost, we learn that the Sith once ruled the planet Sereno and utilized the Tirataka in their conquest. The Tirataka was an ancient reptilian species of dragon that lived on the planet Sereno, similar to the Krayt dragons of Tatooine, possibly. The Sith used the dark side of the Force in their animal kinship, and instead of becoming one with the beast, they controlled it. They corrupted the Tirataka to use in battle. The people of Sereno fought back against the Sith and trapped the Tirataka underground, where it became a Serenian legend over the centuries. Many years later, Dooku finds the Tirataka underground during his brother Ramil's conquest to take over the planet. In order to stop him, Dooku uses animal kinship to bond with the Tirataka to help overthrow his brother and kill all his security droids. During the battle, Dooku has to dip into the dark side to control the beast and ultimately loses control and has to kill it with his lightsaber. And that's a danger of the power. If a Jedi crosses the boundary of complete kinship and symbionce with the animal and goes to the side of controlling the animal, he dips into the dark side. This can be dangerous for the Force user, like it was with Ezra Bridger when he used animal kinship with the Furnok in Rebels. Ezra also showed us that it's not a perfect power. He was able to bond with the Purgil, but not with the spider-like Krykna of Atollon. Now, I know a lot of people who would love to have this power. Be able to share one mind with a pet would be pretty sweet, but I can also think of a few other powers that I'd like to have. So what do you think? Would you want this force power? If so, what animal would you want to bond with? Let me know in the comments below. Stay tuned for more videos about canon force powers, and I hope you all had an awesome day. Hit like on this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you, always.
wasted.